What's going on, guys? This is Jewnbug, coach of the Maine Red Clawitzers, and I'm here bringing you my Week 4 battle of the PUL Season 3 versus Vicy or Vicy, not really sure. Week 3 was versus Jezzy, but he was off on a break from the leagues. Had some other stuff to do, so we will get back to that later. But for now, we're bringing you the Week 4 to make up for that. So, looking at this team here, Mewtwo X was really terrifying because it can just run right through Arceus Steel and can really, handle Latios as well, outspeeds it if he goes for a speedier variant. Zen Headbutt hits Mega Venusaur, and I can't hit back that hard. And it's really just a pretty scary Mon for my team. Bulu, something I'm more likely to be able to handle. Dialga looking pretty scary as well. I don't have any great natural sort of fighting types. Um, so I have to sort of rely on getting some ground moves off on Dialga. But obviously, with grassy terrain, it's going to sort of soften those blows for the Dialga. So pretty interesting matchup. Really worried about Mewtwo X. A little bit worried about Volcanion. A little bit worried about Dialga. Those are probably my biggest fears. So let's hop right to the team builder. So right off the bat, I wanted to have something that addressed my sort of fear of Mega Mewtwo X, and we had a Scarf Togekiss here. This thing is set to outspeed a max speed Jolly Mewtwo X. And these defensive EVs allow it to live I believe it was a Jolly Stone Edge or a Jolly Poison Jab, but a Jolly Stone Edge, which I was thinking he might bring as a Togekiss counter. Aura Sphere could hit the Dialga if I knew that the Mega Mewtwo X isn't going to switch in. Scarf Baton Pass, just sort of a dry get momentum back if I'm not worried about taking rocks damage type of thing, and defog in case those rocks are up and I want to, get rid of them pretty freely. Next, we have Sunan the Greninja, a physically offensive Choppleberry set. Now, I am set to live a Drain Punch with the Choppleberry and these defensive EVs, and then fire back with an Acrobatics. And I can't one-hit kill it, even if it's zero bulk, but I can do a good chunk and probably switch out and get some advantage back. Spikes, just because it seems like it might be a match where I'll have to be switching around a lot because he has a lot of good defensive counters. I don't really have one Mon that runs right through, so want to be able to punish that. 318 to outspeed the base 100 Mons, so pretty low speed, but wanted to get some of that bulk back. And low kick for the Dialga, U-turn for a pivot move. Now we have our Arceus Steel, Colossus. Iron Defense and a really defensive set here in order to help us against the Mewtwo X. Gave up on speed pretty much entirely. I think I outspeed a lot of Mons, though. His team was, either they're really fast and I'd have to go all the way in speed to beat them, or they're pretty slow. Like I think this is a max speed Bulu. I outspeed naturally, so I didn't even want to mess with that. But yeah, I believe this allows me to basically face up. If I get one Iron Defense up in advance, I can face up a Mewtwo X. If there are no crits, keep setting up Iron Defenses, then eventually fire off a Judgment. Not a ton of Judgment resists on this team. Fortress, Dialga, and Volcanion, Alomomola, and I guess Electivire as well. But, I can fire that off pretty well. The rest of them pretty much can get hit with Earth Power. Alomomola actually scared me as well, now that I'm remembering it, because, I don't have any natural electric types as well. Next up, Jin, the Landorus. We had a Life Orb set here. Speed creep for the base 100 speed Mons. HP Ice, which was for the Gliscor, Earth Power, and Sludge Wave, because obviously Bulu probably wants to switch in on this thing pretty well. I was worried about Scarf Bulu, so I set it to live a Scarf Adamant Woodhammer. Then I can obviously hit back with Sludge Wave and kill it, because you would think that an Adamant Woodhammer would probably kill a Landers, especially if it's sitting neutrally. So thought that was a pretty good potential bring. Yeah, and then the Earth Power, obviously, that's a pretty powerful stab. It can hit Dialga, it can hit things neutrally and really be powerful as well. Then we have Straubs, my Citrus Berry Belly Drum Slurpuff, set to outspeed. I know it outspeeds Mewtwo X, but I wonder if there was something else I had it set to outspeed. Maybe a certain Scarf, maybe Scarf Gliscor or Scarf Dialga. Not certain, but decent amount of speed there. Max Adamant attack, just sort of balanced defensive EVs and then that 1 HP investment, just so the Citrus Berry is activated after a Belly Drum. And then last, a defensive Arcanine with Intimidate and Leftovers. HP Ice, because obviously a traditional Arcanine set, Gliscor can just come in and do whatever on that. Will-O-Wisp to deal with some physical attackers. Wild Charge, because there were a few water types that I didn't have great answers for. And Flare Bits, just because that's the strongest move. 12 EVs just to speed creep and some attack and defense, just so I can be a bit of a defensive pivot for some good matchups, especially Bulu. Bulu obviously doesn't really, other than I guess a Stone Edge, but he's got to be really scared of Flare Blitz, and I could Will-O-Wisp as well. So, now that we've seen all those, hope you've been seeing the EVs at the bottom. I think I've been forgetting to scroll down a bit. But now that you've seen those, let's get right into the match. So, I see his team. No Mewtwo X, which surprised me pretty significantly. And I figure, okay, nothing really wants to deal with a Scarf Togekiss. Potential to, I believe, Oko, the Rabombi. Bulu doesn't like it. Delmise doesn't like it. None of these, there are no flying resists. So I figure Scarf Togekiss, safe lead. I can Baton Pass if I don't like my matchup. So now I know, even, I believe it's a Spec Sludge Wave, I can guaranteed live. So I figure, okay, try my hand at some Air Slash Flinch hacks here with the Serene Grace. And obviously I get my wish, and then I land the second one, and he actually hits back with Flash Cannon, which does more than half. So I'm thinking, okay, I can either pretty much, if I land this, it kills. 5% chance I miss, and I would go down, which would be a bummer. But, 95% chance, at some point you gotta take some chances, and I get the kill. And that thing was actually terrifying. It was really the only thing that had a chance at dealing with my Arceus Steel, other than maybe like a Swords Dance Gliscor or a Z all-out pummeling Bulu, and I suppose Doug Trio as well. But it was a really good counter to my Arceus, so I was glad to see that thing off the board. Now I could try to go for more hacks here, but I know I have a great matchup, and I know that I forget its move, but we're gonna see it. The Steel move is gonna knock me out if I don't get that flinch. So I make the safe defensive play into my defensive Intimidate Anchor Shot into my Intimidate Arcanine. Now I figure that there's Rabombi, which he won't switch in because I would one-hit kill it with Flare Blitz, or yeah, I would, unless it was Sash. So I figure, okay, he has Rabombi and 4 physical attackers, so why don't I go just to, give something a problem and Will-O-Wisp it. And I'm thinking, okay, this is great. I just Will-O-Wisp this Gliscor. If it was a Toxic Orb set, it's not going to get that anymore. No more value from that, so feeling good. Then I know, okay, it's burned, so I'm going to live in Earthquake, so I don't have to worry about that. I'm an Intimidate set with leftovers, so I got some recovery. And so I figure, okay, go for the HP Ice, see what happens. So he U-turns and goes into the Doug Trio. Now that's really good for me. Um, Looking at that set, no bulk Doug trio. Even with my negative nature, I think I had like a 60-70% chance to kill it from this range again. So I got a pretty decent roll on that first one, but I wanted to make sure I and if make sure I could get that again. And a non-Z move Doug trio, I don't believe could kill me from this range unless it was adamant, and then I had a chance to. But so I kind of take my gamble here and end up living the earthquake on 2, which was awesome. And fire off the HPS, get that 50% roll again, and then I'm feeling good. So now 2 really big Arceus steel threats gone. So now the Rabombi comes in. I'm thinking, okay, maybe this thing will try to set webs and or maybe set up a quiver dance, but I'm just gonna go out swinging, quick flare blitz, and I'm sure I could make a read, but at this point I'm thinking, okay, I'm ahead. You know, just don't let anything dumb happen to you. And the Moonblast from Rabombi comes in and knocks me out, and that's fine. So now I come in and I think, okay, we have a burned Gliscor. We have a Delmise, which doesn't, Shadow Claw is probably the scariest move there. We have a Bulu here with superpower, and then we have a Rabombi, which can't really touch me. So I'm thinking now it's time for my Arceus Steel to do some work. So I come in and set up an Iron Defense right off the bat to deal with potential Z superpower or Earthquake. And he actually reveals here that he's a Oh no, actually, well, he didn't reveal that he was a Scarf, but that is the case. I had very, very few defensive EVs. Uh, and now, with 2 Iron Defenses up, I know nothing can really touch me, and I just start firing off Judgments. Got the crit here. Uh, I don't think it mattered that much, just because nothing was really going to touch me. I did have Recover on this as well, and I just fire off Judgments, and from here, Arceus Steel really puts in work, and the grassy terrain actually helping me out in this case as well. And he goes down to the burn there, so that's going to be GG. Good game to Vicy or Vicy, and that's a 5-0 win for us. So that's a really great for our record and our differential. But that'll be it for week 4. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in next time, and at some point I'm gonna get that Jezzy video up. But yeah, thanks for watching, and have a great day.